All right, welcome in everybody. I'm giving people a few minutes to come in here, and then we are going to get started. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. Just give it a couple more minutes to get everybody in here. In the meantime, what we're watching right now is what's going on live around the country. We've got protests in Portland, although there's only about 10 people out there. The Kami Memdami is speaking right now in New York. As we are, as a country, about to elect, or I should say they as a city are about to elect a communist as the mayor. An admitted communist. And yeah, probably should worry some folks, but I don't think the people in New York are that bright anymore. I really don't. Anyway, I hate to say stuff like that, but how can you elect a communist? You got Cuomo, which can do the job. He's not great at it. You got Curtis Sliwa that could do the job. He would do it great. I'd love to see what he does with that town. You had several other candidates that have left because they weren't getting any interest. But the Democrats, they want the communist. They really want the communist. That's the bottom line. All right, I spent a majority of the day today working on the channel. I've got a bunch of new thumbnails now that I made up for the Sights and Sounds of Earth. I also made a... I'm hearing something. What am I hearing? Let me turn that down. I'm sorry. I'm hearing audio, and I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. There we go. All right, that's gone now. Had to null that out. Let me make sure this is working. Nope, it's not. I have to, every night, even though the sounds are all still set right, I still have to go in to Windows and reset them, and then reset them back, in order to get them to come through. Let's see if that works. There we go. Now you guys can hear the button bar. Isn't that awesome? All right. I don't know why it does that, but I'm dealing with that every night. I have to go in there and I have to, there's about 12 things I have to do once I get online. There's so many things that you can't just set up beforehand, you know, that you have to do it while you're online. All right, so anyway, there we go. This view right here, what we're looking at is Portland. Also, we're looking at the Memdani rally that's going on, and we're also looking at some strong to severe weather right now down in Florida, east of Orlando on the Space Coast, and we're going to be monitoring that. No storm chasers down there right now, but we are going to monitor it if anything pops up, as well as severe weather across the country, although there isn't a lot of it right now, which is fine. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now, the other thing we are covering tonight, this is the big story of the, probably going to be the big story of the month here, and that's going to be major hurricane Melissa. I've got one camera here that's not working right, but let me, all right, this, just so you guys can see it, this is the main Jamaican camera page. These are all live in Jamaica right now. These are all live. How long they stay up, I have no idea. I also have links for 8 or 9 more live webcams that are off YouTube. These are on YouTube. I've got 6 or 8 more that are off YouTube. And so what we're going to be able to, hey Dominic, hey Junior, hey Bill, what we're going to be doing, hey Heath, but yeah, here we go. We're going to have this up now. Over here on the other camera, I actually have right now, I actually have up this same screen that you're looking at, and I'm broadcasting that over on Starship After Dark. And my audio is going out over there as well. And I also have my video up there, but I can actually take my video down, which provides yet another I'll set that up later. Anyway, when I get off tonight, I'm going to take my camera off of that one, and it'll just be 9 screens of Jamaica. And that'll be a pretty cool resource, and I'm going to leave that up. I'm looking for audio streams. Audio streams are not as easy for Jamaica. Let me just take a look here. I haven't looked yet for this storm, but in past storms, it has not been good. Let me see here. Well, let me try something here. I don't know why this isn't working, but create. Yes, god damn it. Always 3 clicks more to get where you're going. Brad, you're not that late. I just come on 8 minutes ago. So what I'm doing is I'm making a dashboard. I'll go ahead and put this back on the main grid here. What I've done is I'm creating a dashboard right now, and I'm going to look in this dashboard, and when I'm adding these feeds, I'm going to go to Jamaica, and let's go state, county, countrywide, county, statewide, no feeds. There is no feeds out of Jamaica. So it's they don't do it there because of security concerns. There is no live feeds of emergency services at all in Jamaica. Wow. So there you go. There won't be any audio. I'm probably going to, I'll probably put the Hurricane Watch Net audio or something on there. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I don't think, there may be some ambient sound, but I don't think there is on any of these. I don't think the mics are hooked up on any of them. But we got some great shots all over Kingston. Kingston's going to be just on the right side of this. The timing on this, right now, the best timing that we've got for this storm, it is going to be making landfall late in the afternoon. 2 p.m. on Tuesday, it will already be on shore. So Tuesday, it's going to be bad. Monday night, it's going to be really getting bad there. And overnight, Monday night into Tuesday morning, 2 a.m. Tuesday morning, it's going to be sitting 10 miles off the coast. So I may, let me see how it's going here. I may be able to move some things around and be here. I'd like to be here broadcasting Tuesday morning. I may do a special Tuesday morning show. But I have a funny feeling once it gets bad, all this internet on the island goes out and there'll be nothing. No feeds, and there is already no scanner feeds. So there's a very limited amount of stuff that we can monitor from Jamaica during a bad storm. Yeah, I'll probably get that. It's too early. They haven't activated it yet. There won't be anything on there yet. But yeah, I'm going to get it up either tonight or in the morning. Let me take a look and see. Okay, Hurricane Watch Net, amateur radio. Current storm Melissa. I have had a problem every time I go to their website. Okay, click here for our net activation plans. There we go. There we go. So they're going to be on, as always, they're going to be on 20 during the day, 40 at night. Let's see, Hurricane Watch Net preparing to activate for Hurricane Melissa. What a strange hurricane season this has been. Hurricane Melissa is unlike any storm we've seen in a very long time. The Hurricane Watch Net is preparing to fully activate in response to this extremely dangerous situation. Activation will begin Monday morning at 10 a.m. Once on the air, operation will continue around the clock until stand down is called. Current plan, at 10 a.m. in the morning, they're going to start on 20 meters, which is 14.325. I will have that up before it goes live tomorrow at 10 a.m. I can tell you that. I may do it tonight. It depends on how spunky I feel in an hour and a half. We'll see what it looks like. And then we've got 40. 40 is at night, but again, there's nothing tonight. Starting tomorrow night at 7 p.m., they're going to go to overnight operations on 40 meters, 7.268. And then at 7 a.m., they're going to pause operations because there's a waterway net that has to go on. And then they're going to resume right after that. And then Tuesday through Friday, as needed, they're going to go on starting at 8 a.m. in the morning on 20 meters and then going on at 7 p.m. at night on 40 meters. So they're always on, either on 20 or 40. Since they always do one or the other, I'll probably just have the one feed on there. Hey, what's up? Yes, because of the Melissa's coming in like this, and then it's going to slowly make a sharp turn and go north. When that happens, when it comes ashore as a Cat 4 or 5 hurricane on Tuesday, they will already have been under hurricane conditions and rain and everything. They're already under that. They've been getting rain all day today. They're already got several inches in the rain buckets. So we're adding to what's has already fallen. And you've got another full day tomorrow. They're going to wake up in the morning. They're going to have tropical storm conditions turning into hurricane conditions tomorrow by midday along the southern coast and in Kingston, the capital. And then as it starts to make that turn, it's going to go near Kingston. Now, one of the things that we have to watch is Kingston, because that's where the big population center is in Jamaica. Is Kingston going to be in the eye wall? And well, we don't really know. So anyway, I'm going to switch back. Here's the other view. This is all the Jamaican cams. These are all live right now in Jamaica. You can see it's raining. There is no tidal rise yet. There is, I haven't seen any lightning. Normally lightning is not associated much with a big storm. This storm is big enough though, like Ian did this. As Ian became a Cat 5, right at the coast, there started to be a lot of lightning in it, which is a rare occurrence in a tropical storm. That tells you how nasty that storm was. It started producing lightning. And this one will likely produce lightning. It's going to be a very big storm coming in. And also, you'll get lightning in the outer feeder bands as well. Jamaica's in trouble. I hope they get all the people there that are infirmed off the island, because I'm telling you something, it's going to be survival of the fittest on that island. You know, you guys think that we're so technologically advanced here in 2025, but this is going to be a challenge for those folks on that island. And I feel for them. Like I said, I've been friends with several Jamaicans in the past. Two guys that came, I did my entire inspector school with them. And they were two of the funnest guys I've ever met. They're just such a laid-back island atmosphere there. And I've always loved Jamaica. I think it's a neat place. And they're about to get one of the worst storms they've got in many, many years. It is going to be, it's going to be really bad. And so I don't need to urge anybody to do anything because they're over there listening to their own emergency management. But I hope they're doing what they got to do. There will be no place on the island that escapes hurricane force winds, on the island nation, I should say, that will escape hurricane force winds. Kingston will be on the dirty side of the storm, somewhere between 0 and 60 miles from the storm eye wall. If the storm comes close to Kingston, we will get eye wall bringing water up into the bay there. And we could see easily 12 to 15 feet of tidal rise. And they're forecasting 20 plus, and I've even seen some, I saw a model forecasting 34 inches of rain for Kingston. So guys, my God, we are talking about the fresh water coming down torrentially for 3 days and salt water coming up. And we could see tidal rise for an extended period of time, taking us through more than one high tide. What's bad about that is normally with quicker storms like Ian came through pretty quick, moving 25 or 30 miles an hour. We had one full day of nastiness and then it was gone. This is going to be more like 3 days of nastiness for Jamaica. And everything begins to stack up when that happens. The water, and also when the tidal surge comes in, you'll still have, you've got surf on top, you've got rise and fall of standard lunar tides, okay? So in other words, you could be in a king tide right now. I don't think they are, but you could be in a king tide, and tide rises up 2 feet higher than it normally would be. And then you add that on top of the surge, and then you add on top of that the surf. And so it gets really dangerous. That's why down at Fort Myers Beach, after Ian came through, there was nothing left. It ripped down all the buildings. It took everything away. It was just incredible. It was devastating. A 15-foot wall of water with 8-foot waves on top of that. That was moving up and down with the lunar tides. So just an amazing thing. It's moving very slow. That is probably, okay, it's one thing to get hit by a major hurricane. I know, I've been there. It's one thing to get hit by a major hurricane. It's another thing to have one park over your ass for 3 days. And that's kind of what we got going on here. This thing's moving at like 3 miles an hour. The good news is not a lot of wind yet. That upper left camera, that's right on the harbor there in Kingston, and that one gets buffeted around by the wind every now and then when I was watching it earlier. But not so bad yet. But it is drawing closer every minute. Every minute of every minute is drawing a little bit closer. Right now, it's still moving west at 5 miles an hour. So it hasn't even made the turn towards Jamaica yet. And it's sitting right off the coast, and the rain is falling and everything else. So, like I said, by the time we go live tomorrow, it's going to be sitting pretty close, probably about 50, 60 miles off the coast. And then Tuesday morning, I'll probably go live. If there's anything to cover, I'll go live because it's going to be hitting Tuesday morning. So I don't expect any of these cams to stay up. Not necessarily, I mean, the cameras themselves and the systems could be destroyed, but I'm talking more about electricity. Most of them are not on generator power. They're on a battery backup or just directly connected to utility power. So that's the main thing, is the power goes out. Once the power goes out, that's it for the cameras. Also, the internet has boosters all along the internet. Those run on electricity too. So usually, even if you've got generator power and you can stay up, a lot of times the internet will still fail. And then, of course, as the damage begins to happen, the internet will fail anyway. So I don't have any faith at all that these cameras are going to stay up. Yes, feet of rain. Harvey in Houston is a great example. The one that just happened in North Carolina not long ago, another great example, where it wasn't tidal, it was rain coming down. 20 inches in 12 hours can swamp every drainage system in the world. There's nothing that can handle that. And that's what ends up happening, and it ends up flooding into homes and eventually starts killing people as it gets high enough. Yeah. Hey, Billy. And Rob. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here, guys. Yeah, Jamaica's in trouble. I don't... we need to stand ready, both as a nation here to help them, and also all of the organizations, the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, the Samaritan's Purse, the Doctors Without Borders. I always name those four because those are the four big ones. There's also about 15 others as well. And I hope they're all gearing up and getting ready. That's probably the most dangerous thing here is the amount of rain this can drop. Okay, let's take a quick peek here at weather. We've got we now have one severe thunderstorm warning right now, and it has been issued right here. That is the Space Coast. Look at that. That's Cape Canaveral right there. This is just southeast of Titusville, and this is where they launch the spacecraft from, right there on the coast, and that's exactly where it's from. All right, so and this is moving from south to north, which is a little unusual. But you can kind of see it was wrapped up there for a minute. There's a weird development in there. And so they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning on this one. Currently also under a flash flood warning and also a special weather statement, all for the Space Coast right now. And that severe thunderstorm warning is a long one. It expires 51 minutes from now. All right, and that is the only area of the country that we're really looking at any kind of severe weather. I'm going to put it on radar from everywhere, and you can kind of see there's really nothing nationwide. We've got some winter warnings up here. That's a winter storm warning up there. These are flood warnings up here, and also electricity outages up in the Washington coastline. And there is some choppy weather in Alabama, moving into Georgia, Tennessee, but nothing's warned right now. Let's see what this looks like. It is starting to come in here, so let's go ahead and let's add a few. I swear I hate this new radar Omega. I may switch services. That this update is so bad. I can't do any of the things I used to do. There's just so many things that are different now, and I am just totally not happy with it. I'm going to send them an email tomorrow and ask them if there's a way to get the old one back. Boy, they hate getting those emails. I will definitely see if I can get the old one back. I don't think I can. Usually you can't. They don't like to do that. Hey Callie, how you doing tonight? wow. All busted up. There we go. Damn, Brandon. That sucks. That'll mess you up for sure. Yeah, we did good last night. We're at 4,400. Yeah, that's we did really good last night down the Fantasy Fest. Yeah, it was really good. Lots of numbers. It was fun too. I will tell you guys, it's not near as good as it used to be. When we first started watching that down there, like 10 years ago, every 10th person to walk by had boobs out. I mean, it was like, it was a thing. It was. I'm like, I'm surprised this is on YouTube. Every year it's a little less and a little less, and I don't think they're cracking down on it because I haven't heard anything about that. But last night it was very tame. I mean, you could have brought your kids there last night. Yeah, I love motorcycles too, but I would never get on one. Just too dangerous. I don't trust myself. I don't trust them. So not a thing for me. My dad was a big motorcycle guy, and he did not have good balance or coordination, and he had to give it up. Yeah, I've been working long days. When I decided to do this 2-hour show every night, I took on more than I should have, really. I mean, but I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to keep up with it. Yeah, all the makeup. I don't need all that makeup. Crap here. All right, there's only 2 cameras right now coming out of Portland, and neither one of them are showing a protest. I don't even think there's anything going on there tonight, but I'm there. There's really nothing else to show anywhere else, so that's where we're at right now. But yeah, I don't see a whole lot going on there. Okay, so let's see here. So Thailand has now signed a expanded ceasefire agreement with Cambodia. That's a good thing. And this is just another peace deal that's been brokered by President Trump. If he does not get the Nobel Peace Prize next year, the organization will lose all of its credibility and funding. I'm telling you, it's that bad. Because now this year, a lot of what he was doing was still in progress, and that was the excuse they used. Next year, they'll have no excuse. Everywhere he goes, he brings some stability, and in a lot of places, he's been able to actually bring peace, and so that's amazing. The agreement was signed on the sidelines of the 47th. It was in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, aiming to end border skirmishes that have persisted since 2011. So another peace treaty brokered by the president, the master of the deal. Suspects arrested in the Bold Louvre crown jewels heist, leaving France reeling from cultural wounds. 2 primary suspects were detained in Paris following the October 19 theft of 8 priceless gems, including a 140-carat diamond necklace once owned by Marie Antoinette. The heist involved a daring daylight raid using smoke bombs and decoys with stolen items valued at over 100 million whatever. Investigations reveal links to an international forgery ring, prompting heightened security at European museums. Now, they have not mentioned if they've recovered any of it, which I don't think they have. No, Canna, it is not. It will not make landfall until Tuesday. And I'm gonna, as soon as I get done with the news, we'll do a complete breakdown of the hurricane. Okay, Hurricane Melissa upgraded to Cat 4. This thing went from a Cat 1 to a Cat 4 overnight. 1 to a 4. Rapid intensification, which we really weren't expecting. It's forecast now to hit Jamaica as an upper end 4 or a 5. And it's going to hit there on Tuesday, per the National Hurricane Center. NOAA aircraft data shows a warming eye, a robust eye wall with potential for Cat 5 status before landfall. Evacuations are underway in Jamaica, where flash flooding and 15 to 20 foot storm surge could isolate communities for weeks. Did you hear that? They upgraded it from 12 to 15 feet of storm surge. They're now at 15 to 20 feet of storm surge. Now, your house, the ceiling in your house is 8 or 10 feet. So this is literally twice as tall as the peak on the roof of your house. I mean, we're talking about surge that you can't imagine surge like this. And when the surge is gone and it leaves, everything floats away with it because it's all lost. More flight halts today, and we will get back to the storm in depth when I get to that section. All incoming flights to Los Angeles International Airport were grounded for 3 hours today, affecting thousands amid an ongoing federal shutdown. The shutdown now in its 26th day, the Democrat Schumer shutdown, currently in its 26th day, has furloughed over 800,000 workers, including 1,200 FAA controllers. I don't understand how they keep essential workers on, but yet we've got 1,200 workers not coming to work. These are essential workers. The whole thing confuses me. Impacts ripple to supply chains with delayed cargo exacerbating holiday shortages. Holiday shortages? What's that all about? We are, believe it or not, we are coming into the Christmas buying season. I guess that's what they're talking about. U.S. Navy has now deployed a destroyer and Marines to Trinidad amid escalating Caribbean tensions. That's a big mess with the Venezuelan drug trafficking and all the gangs and everything. That all needs to be routed out. I'm not real big on us going in there and doing stuff, I don't think, but I'm not really much on us even shooting these drug boats down. I didn't really want to get involved like that again with any of this shit, but whatever. He's doing it. Let's get it done. He has more information than we do, and I have to look at it that way too. Wow, 2 people die when an Iranian Red Crescent rescue helicopter. The Red Crescent is the same as the Red Cross. Helicopter crashes in Loristan, killing 2. It was carrying 9 medical crew. Went down in the mountainous terrain, but many of them survived. New Zealand has launched an ambitious nationwide invasive species eradication campaign. The initiative targets rats, possums, and stoats. I don't know what a stoat is. Across 40 million hectares amid the predator-free status of 2050. Backed by $1.2 billion in funding, it uses aerial drops of 1080 poison and gene drive technology. None of that sounds good. Protects over 4,000 native species, includes the flightless kiwi bird. You got to do something about. We got these pythons and anacondas and all this bullshit down here in the Keys. We've got these snakes that are so big they're eating full-grown alligators. They found a snake that had tried to eat an alligator, and it must have snuck up on that alligator and got its snout in its mouth, and it swallowed that alligator. And once it got it about 2/3 of the way in, the alligator dug holes in the side of the snake with its legs. Ended up, they both died. The snake died of its injuries, and the alligator suffocated to death. And they lay there, half-eaten, dying. This shit goes on all the time down here in the Keys. You know, they talk about alligator Alcatraz, and the alligators are going to get you. You better watch out for the pythons, too, because there's some big-ass pythons down in the Everglades, and they are non-indigenous. The COLA has been announced at 2.7% amid shutdown delays for Social Security people in 2026. That's not a very big raise, but whatever. It was delayed because of the government shutdown. Typhoon Hong Long makes landfall in Japan, killing one and causing hundreds to evacuate. The storm hit Izu Island at 120 mile-an-hour winds, causing landslides and power outages for 50,000 homes. One person was crushed and killed by a fallen tree. 300 residents have been evacuated from the island. It is forecast to weaken, but as it approaches Tokyo. Okay, so there you go. That's that. All right, let's take a look over at Jamaica. Everything looks like the cameras are still running. You can see some wind coming in there on that upper left one. That bridge where that car's going across there in the upper right, that bridge routinely gets washed out during storms. So I don't know if this camera will survive long enough to see it. The lower right one is daytime there, but that is still live, so I don't know what's going on there. That's probably a loop. It's probably looped or something, but all the rest of those are live. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about this. We talked about that already. U.S.-China trade talks advance on rare earths and tariffs ahead of Trump's summit with the president over there. Negotiators outlined a potential pause on tariffs and erased rare earth export controls from China, addressing shortages. See, that's what Trump's doing with these tariffs. Most of them won't even stay. They're just to make it fair again. And all these countries are like, okay, we'll take your tariffs off if you take our tariffs off. And that's the bottom line. That's all Trump wants, is a fair playing field. All right? Fire Captain 202, thank you for joining. I appreciate that. By the way, I'm a retired fire chief here from Bayshore here in Fort Myers. And I was there for over 17 years. And I loved the fire service. I finally left. My back got too bad. But I officially retired. It was a bit of an early retirement. All right, yep. And I did emergency comms. That was my big thing. And of course, now I'm a ham radio operator, and I still do emergency comms. But yeah, Portland Andy. I got Portland Andy up. He's one of these screens I got up in here. But I got all these other people coming up now. Portland Andy, I think, is this middle screen. I think is him. And that's all. We've got 2 or 3 cameras coming out, and that's it. I'll go ahead and take a brief moment here and see if there's anything else coming up. Let me restart this search here. By the way, the Jamaican cams are live over on Starship After Dark. If you guys have two devices, you can watch those. They're over on Starship After Dark right now. I'm broadcasting live over there as well. So we're on Starship After Dark, and we're also over here on the Starship Adventures. Why do I smell cat food? I freaking smell cat food, and I don't know why. Yep, I couldn't do it. I most of my career I was a lieutenant, and our lieutenants were like the shift supervisors. I was in charge of the shift. We were mostly volunteer, but I was full time. I was full time for 17 years. I even stayed on for a while afterwards, volunteering and helping out. Yeah, they need the prayers, I'll tell you. Yep, I enjoyed the fire service. I'm glad I'm out of it. There was about 5 reasons I left. My back was the biggest one, but I got sick of sitting in classrooms. I hate sitting in classrooms, and I got sick of it. And they were pushing me. I had already been getting my associates in fire science, and then they start pushing me. No. Now you need to get your paramedic. You need to stop this and start doing that. I'm like, I'm a firefighter. That's what I am. No, you got to be a paramedic too. So not only was I an EMT, but I taught the EMT refresher course, for God's sake. But they wanted me to be a 2-year paramedic. I did not want to do it. I did not want to do it, and my back was getting so bad anyway. And they offered me a buyout, and I took it. And there's other things, but I left in good terms. Like I said, I stayed on for like a year and a half afterwards. I was the guy that like was president of the Fireman's Fund, and it coordinated all the MDA fundraisers, and coordinated the haunted walk, and the Christmas thing, and the turkeys for the Thanksgiving, and the Easter event at Pepper Goglin's. And I mean, I'm the one that coordinated our efforts in all of these philanthropic efforts every year. And when I left, the union came in, and every single program that we did there as a big volunteer fire department went away. The union came in, and the first thing they did was they raised the taxes 55%. They hired a whole bunch of high-priced people. They got rid of every one of the volunteers. They ended every single one of the 12 programs that we had, mostly for kids. The only one they kept was going to the schools and doing the fire safety. They still do that. Other than that, they don't do anything anymore. We used to give away hundreds of turkeys every Thanksgiving. We used to show up with Santa Claus into this poor neighborhood and give presents to all the kids every Christmas, on Christmas Eve. We used to do these big, huge Easter parties, and we'd have all the fire trucks, and the kids got to sit in all the fire trucks and meet all the firemen, and we all ate, and it was really good. And we had all these, and plus MDA, muscular dystrophy, we raised 10 grand a year for MDA. We did all of these events. We did our the boot fundraiser for the department for equipment. We also did the big haunted walk. We turned our entire station into a haunted house, and we would do it for 6 nights. And we would take the money we would make from that and buy equipment and pagers and things like that. All these things. The union came in. It was right about the time I was leaving anyway. I knew the union was coming, and that's another reason I left. The unions ruined the fire service. They came in, got rid of the volunteers. They stopped every one of those programs. They didn't even raise the boot for MDA that last year that I was there. They didn't want to do it. And that's it. There is no more, none of that. And that's what happens when you take your local volunteer fire department, which had an ISO rating of 4, by the way. We had a very good ISO rating. You know, their ISO rating today is the same as it was back when we were mostly a volunteer department. So once again, these big unions come in and they just ruin the whole fire service. I mean, they come in here, and none of these departments down here, they don't do community events anymore. They don't work with their communities anymore. I don't even think they test the goddamn fire hydrants anymore. Fire inspections are all done by other people that are not firemen. They hire people off the street, send them to inspector school, and they inspect. They've never put out a fire in their life. That's just the way the fire service is going. The unions have ruined the fire service. And now you've got this area out there that there's nothing, none of those programs exist anymore. And there's a vacuum now, and nobody cares. Yeah, the mic is real close to the cam because you guys are having a hard time hearing me. And until I can resolve it, I've got the mic right in front of my face. I'm trying to give you guys the best audio I can. Yes. Now, we were a combination department. We had a 24-hour lieutenant on each shift. And all of our lieutenants were not only certified firefighters and EMTs, we were all certified fire officers as well. So we had a fire officer on every shift. They worked 24/7, 365, the three of them, on and off, ABC shift. And we had a daytime engineer that was paid full-time, came in every day and worked 8 to 5, and he drove my engine. That's what he did. Because by 5 o'clock, my volunteers were showing up. We had a whole bunkhouse, and we had volunteers. They'd come stay the night. We had guys that would practically live there, and as long as they cleaned up their mess and made their bed, they didn't smell. We didn't care. And every time we left, we had people on the truck. Now, the community pays twice as much what it used to pay for fire, and there's only 4 guys on duty. So when the 4 guys are done, that's it. We have to call mutual aid. Before, the two paid guys would show up with a few volunteers, and then before long, there was a parade of 9 more trucks coming down the road full of qualified people. Not anymore. Because the unions, the first thing they do when they come in is they get rid of the volunteer programs. Fire departments aren't busy enough to hire everybody full-time. Volunteers departments, combination departments are the best idea. There should be well-trained people that work full-time there, that are your officers and your engineers. And then there can be 40 or 50 guys that have pagers and gear, and they only show up twice a month when there's a big fire, and they give you that extra manpower that you need. Even if it's just cleaning and rolling at the end, it gives you what you need. And but the unions will have no part of it. They immediately squash any volunteer department that exists. They came in, and within a year, all the guys were gone, all the equipment was piled in the quartermaster room, and that was it. It was over with. What was a 40-year legacy, 45-year legacy of volunteer service was ended by the union. Yep. I used to like the volunteer, and you know what? They're having a hard time finding firefighters right now. Well, before, we used to have 10 volunteer departments in this county, and we were the training grounds for the paid departments. I'd get guys on, they'd volunteer for 2 or 3 years, and we would sponsor them to fire school. And we would send them to EMT school, and we'd even help them pay for it. And then once they got all that done, we would help them get a job. We'd help them do resumes. We'd print their resumes right there at the station. We had the nice paper and everything. We would help our volunteers get jobs in the fire service. That's what it was about. We actually took on the responsibility of being a training department for our county. And that's the way it worked. And then you would go on and get a job at a big department in Iona or South Trail or the city of Fort Myers or Cape Coral. and you would get a great job making great money, you know, and that's how it worked. Well, once the unions came in and got rid of all the volunteer fire departments, now there is no pool to pull from. So all the paid departments now have to hire people in the blind and send them to fire school, and it's costing them thousands of dollars because half the people they're sending don't make it through fire school. Before, it was a much better program because instead of people coming in entry level, we had people that we worked with for several years before we sent them to fire school. So these were vetted people. We vetted them, we background checked them, we knew them, everything else. The fire departments now, every one of them just has to hire people and hope that they're going to make it through fire school, and then pay the $8,000 or whatever. And then when they wash out of fire school, the department loses their money. The department still had to pay the guy while he was failing out of school, and at the end of it, they're still short one firefighter on a shift. And so they shot themselves right in the foot. And the unions did it. They had to be rid of those volunteer departments. It was a mandate. They talked about it in every meeting. It was a mandate. Yes, they did. They did, and the vote was 3-4, I believe. We had always voted it down every year when they did their I forget what they call that. They would do a vote, and every year we voted it down. Some years unanimously. We did not want a union to come in and ruin our department. However, once I left, two of the other guys had left. Tom Santner had left, and who else? There was another guy that left. Darren, I think, left. And when they hired the two new people, they had the votes they needed to get the union in, and that was the end of the department. It was the end of all the philanthropy. It was the end of all the training. It was the end of the volunteer program. It was the end of a freaking era. That's what unions do. It is. Unions immediately jack the cost of labor so high that you can't afford it anymore. Now, they've only got 4 guys on every shift. And when those 4 guys respond, that's it. There is no more. They sold half the trucks because there's nobody to drive them anymore. How is that better than it was before? We had a brush fire before. I'd have 9 manned trucks on scene. They only have 3 trucks now, I think, in the whole department. 4 trucks, something. And they don't have enough people to drive them all. A lot of them are just backups. That department has no depth to it at all now. You got a few officers that will come in, I guess, in a pinch. But even the off-duty guys don't come in anymore. It's crazy what's happened to the fire service. And the unions have ruined the fire service. Everywhere you go that the union's been in place for a long time, you've got lazy firemen that won't wear a uniform. And they won't even go out and test hydrants. They won't go out and do pre-fire plans. They won't do anything. They're just lazy assholes now. And they just sit around the firehouse waiting for the bell to go off. And it sucks, man. It sucks because our fire service in this country, our volunteer service across this country was the best in the world. Our volunteer fire departments in this county were some of the best in the state. We had things going on great here. We had 3 volunteer departments in this county, all that had an ISO 4. I mean, that's really good. Considering when I started there, they were a 9/9. So yeah. The unions have systematically ruined everything. A lot of your big problems in law enforcement nowadays. You know, these cops that they beat somebody half to death, and then when they go look and they look in his past, he's beat somebody half to death 7 times. Why does he still work there? Unions. They can't fire anybody. They can't fire anybody. And if they can't fire anybody, cops get it in their head that they can pretty much do whatever they want. They can't fire me. And that's exactly where we're at right now. When these cops go off and they violate people's constitutional rights constantly, they're making bad arrests because they just drop the charges and nothing ever happens to the cop. The cop gets judged on arrests, not prosecutions. He gets judged on arrests, not convictions. It's a bad system we have. And then when you add on top of that a labor union that prevents anyone from being fired, these people shoot at unarmed people and kill them, and they end up getting their job back. What are we doing? We keep putting bad people back in good positions, and we've got to stop doing that. And that's what the unions do. The number one job of the union is to protect your employment and your money at all costs. And like with teachers' unions, it doesn't matter the quality of the education. It doesn't matter the quality of the firefighter. It doesn't matter the quality of the police officer. All that matters is that they have job security and that they go home to their family at night. That's all that matters. Just ask them. And the truth is, most of what made the fire service special in this country is lost. And it's lost because of the unions. Yes, DEI was big down here. The affirmative action hiring was big down here. I know my last couple of years at the fire service, I was trying to get 2 of my volunteers hired in Miami. Now we're talking 25 years ago. I retired from the fire service 24 years ago. Okay, so we're talking this was a whole lifetime ago. Hey, ATL Florida girl. I'm not sure if that's pronounced all together or not. But anyway, welcome aboard the crew. Welcome aboard the ship. I hope you enjoy the adventure. We are here every night at 9 p.m. But anyway, the DEI I'm sure got bad too in here. But the affirmative action hiring was bad enough. The way that Miami was hiring 25 years ago, and it's still doing it today. They have lists, and what they do is you go and you test, and you take a written test, you take a physical test, you take a practical test, and I think an adult education test. These scores are then averaged out into a final score, okay? And you get a final score. Let's say your final score is 93, okay? That's your final score. My final score is 93 also, okay? So we both did the same thing, you and me, okay? And it comes time to hire. Here's how they do it. They take the highest scoring person on the white male list, the next highest scoring person on the black male list, the highest scoring person on the other male list, that's Hispanic, Middle Eastern, whatever, and they take one off the female list. And then they come back over and they take the second one off the white male list, the second one off the black male list, the second one off the male other list, and the second one off the female list. And that's how they hire everybody. But here's the problem. There's only 6 females on the female list. There's only 5 other on the other list. There's only 20 black males on the black male list. There's 735 people on the white male list. I'm not exaggerating. And if you were on that white male list, your chance of becoming a firefighter was 0.42% or something. If you were black, it was a 50-50 chance because they took 10 people off the list of 20. They hired everyone off the other male list, and they hired all of the women. So I had less than a 1% chance of becoming a firefighter there. But if you were a woman, you had a 100% chance of becoming a firefighter there as long as you passed the tests. If you were a Hispanic male, you had a 100% chance of becoming a firefighter there, provided you passed everything. And if you were a black male, you had about a 50-50 shot, because they took 10 out of the 20. And by the way, they'll use that same list all year, so those other 10 black males will get hired before the end of the year. And they only end up taking 10 people off of this list with 739 names on it. In what universe is that fair? But let's not talk about fair. Let's talk about what's best. Black people are great at firefighting. So are Hispanic people. So are women. But you know what? So are white people. Shouldn't we take the ones that are best? It shouldn't matter if they have a vagina or a penis. Okay? It shouldn't matter if they're black or Hispanic. What should matter is who is the best to go pull my grandmother out of a burning house? Who's the best person to come and save my family that's crushed into a car on the interstate? That's all I give a shit about. Now, you can't tell me they hired the best people they could hire. It has nothing to do with race. Because like I said, a lot of those black people that applied, they were just as qualified as the white people. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is, did you really get the best 40 people that you could hire? Did you really get the best 40? And I say no. Because you got all these people on this white list over here that got much better scores than all these other people over here, but they were passed over because they were on that list with 729 people on it. This is just, I threw my hands up and walked away. I'm like, I'll never get my guys employed at Metro Dade. I'll never get my guys employed at Metro Dade. I never did. We never did. I had a couple of black guys, I had a couple of Hispanic guys, I had a woman. I told them all, apply at Metro Dade, you'll get hired. They didn't want to move to Miami. So it's like, I don't know, dude. What are we doing wrong here, right? I don't care about checking boxes. I want the most qualified person putting out the fire. I want the most qualified person flying the jet plane. I want the most qualified person shooting the bad guys. I want the most qualified person teaching my child in public school. And that's the bottom line. And I don't care. And that's not what we're doing right now. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's my little trip through the fire service. All right, for you, fire captain, here we go. There she is. There's my helmet. I still got it. I bought it. I'm like, I'm keeping that. I'm buying it. It was like $300. I didn't care. I bought it. This is my helmet, and she's in good shape. I only wore this for 2 years on duty, so it's actually in really good shape. It's only been, I think, in 3 structure fires that were working. Now, I have my old helmet, which is not in this room. I'll go get it and bring it out later, but that's my old plastic helmet from when I was a lieutenant, and it's all melted and warped, and I toasted that bitch a number of times. Yep. Here you go. Will that work? I'll wear that for you guys. Will that work? I don't have to prove anything to you, asshole. All right, so there you go. Oh, you've been in the high 20s? Oh my God. We got down in the 60s 2 nights, and I'm like, wow, it's 69 outside. Yeah, I got that helmet. I was chief about 6 months when I got my leather helmet, and that's real leather. And I wore it for about 2 years, and then I retired. The one I wore the most is my my other one in there. But what the hell? I gotta walk anyway. I'll be right back. I don't know what she did with it. I'll have to find it. I got my shadow box here with all my badges in it too. I'll bring that out one night and show you guys that. I actually, every time I got promoted, I would buy the badge. It's a thing. I always had a spare one anyway. I would always buy a spare badge for my jacket. We had like middle-sized badges, and I'd buy a bigger one to go on my jacket. I always thought that looked cool. But and my dress coat. I still got my dress coat with the 5 stripes. I've got a bunch of stuff. I've still got my ID cards from emergency management, from EMS, from the fire service, from Bayshore all those years. I've got all my ID cards, my certification cards. I mean, you have no idea. Yeah, it's been warm down here. I think it is a Carnes brother, but I'd have to look. I'm not sure. Oh my God. It's a Carnes helmet. Look what's inside. I just reached way up in there and pulled this out. It's still in there. Wow. That's pretty cool. I'm going to leave that up in there. That's pretty cool. I had no idea that was still up in there. I only wore it for 2 years. And as the chief, I didn't obviously get near as dirty. Yeah, I don't miss my time at the fire department. I enjoyed it, but I'm kind of glad it's over. I've never really missed it. There's a lot of politics in it, and I don't miss that. We were a small department, and from time to time we would get people that would become commissioners that were a pain in the ass. And of course, one of the things that happened a lot at our department was the union guys that worked at other departments that lived in our area would all run for the board. and we get 2 or 3 union guys on there, firefighters, and they would come in every meeting being a prick, wanting to know about this, wanting to know about this, how did we do this, how are we doing that, and they're not happy with this and not happy with, just being absolute pricks. And all they're trying to do is they were trying to drive the volunteer program out and get the union in. That's all they cared about. And they were literally like plants within our department, on our board. It was terrible. I hate that. I hate those kind of politics. I loved helping people. I missed the camaraderie with the guys at the station. I miss sitting around and, you know, watching a movie with the guys, or playing pool on the pool table, or, you know, playing Astro Slide in the bay. And yeah, we don't want to talk about that. I got in trouble for that. We used to do some really crazy things at the fire department that were like crazy things, dude. Some real fun stuff though. And we used to do a few things that got us in trouble. You know, if you get enough guys and they're bored enough, they'll get in trouble. That happens. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is a slippery slope. It sure is. We used to do weird things like we would take the phone. We had a 2-line phone. It's a 3-line phone. And we put a long wire on it so we could run it out front, because back then we didn't have cell phones. And we would lay on top of the engine with the binoculars looking over at the bank of payphones over at the Circle K. And I'll tell you guys, this is a story I haven't told that many times in my life, but I'm going to tell you guys tonight. It's been long enough that statute of limitations have run out. Anyway, so we're sitting there and we get this bright idea. Actually, a man named Steve got this bright idea. Hey, I'm going to call. Watch this. So he gets out the pre-fire plan book and he runs the phone out on the long wire. We had bought this long wire so the guys could go talk to their girlfriends outside or whatever with it and get some privacy. So we ran the phone out there and we're laying on top of the engine. He goes, watch this. And he opens the pre-fire plan book and he pulls out the page for the Circle K, and it lists the 3 phone numbers for the 3 payphones. A concert had just let out at the Civic Center. There was people all in this parking lot. There was like 50 people in the parking lot. It was busy. Everything's going on. He goes, watch this. And he dials the first payphone. The guy picks it up and he goes, and somebody heard it ringing and actually walked over and picked it up. And he goes, hello? And he goes, Bill, listen, I put the money in the red bag. It's in the dumpster on the left side, just like we agreed to, but you better get it soon because Bob's on his way there now. And he hangs up. Then he would immediately dial the next one over. Meanwhile, that guy is walking to the dumpster. We watch him and we're howling because we're watching this guy walk towards the dumpster. Second phone rings. Picks up the phone. Hey, Bob. Yeah, it's in the green bag in the dumpster, just like we discussed. 10,000, just like we discussed. Plain unmarked bills. It's in the dumpster, blue bag on the right side. But you better get it soon because Steve's on his way up there. And that guy would hang up the phone and walk over to the dumpster. And next thing you know, we got 2 guys digging in the fucking dumpster. I mean, they're literally getting in the dumpster and digging. He calls another one. Gets another redneck, picks up the phone. What? Yeah, listen, I think them guys know that red bag with all the money is in the dumpster. You might want to go see if you can find it before they find it. And he hangs up the phone and goes over there. Next thing you know, these guys are all rolling around on the ground fighting over money that never existed. This became a pastime of ours. We used to call it the phone deal. And we would start doing the phone deal. We'd go out there and we'd start dialing those phones and telling people stuff. We'd call up and we go, hey, yeah, this is the sheriff's department. Is there a guy standing right next to you with a red shirt on and jeans? No, don't look at him. Don't look at him. Is there a guy right next to you with a red shirt on and jeans? Yes. No, listen, he's wanted. Don't look at him. Don't make it seem like you're talking to the sheriff's department. We used to do the damnedest things up there, dude. And you know what finally got us in trouble? one of the guys told the clerk up there that we were the ones doing it, because the clerks at the Circle K, we were friends with all of them. We knew them. As a matter of fact, one of them volunteered at our department. And one of our guys told him over there that we were the ones doing the phone thing, and that we were the ones that were causing the fights at the dumpster, and we were the ones that were causing all the problems. And it got back to the chief, and we got called in, and he goes, I'm not going to expect you guys to rat each other out or anything, but I'm going to tell you it's not going to happen again. It was one of those kind of things. So yeah, it did. So then you know what we started doing after that? What we would do is we would take the phone, right? And we would call, we would take that long wire and we would bring the 3-line phone in and sit it right next to the other 3-line phone in the day room. So we had 2 phones sitting right next to each other, right? We'd look up phone numbers. I'd pick up the phone and my partner would pick up the phone. I would dial the Publix in North Fort Myers. He would dial the Publix in East Fort Myers. He would put it on hold. I would hit conference in line 2. And then we would hang the phone up and listen on mute so we could hear the phone call. And you want to talk about funny? We did this for months. It was so funny. They'd call up and they go, Publix Bakery. And then the other one would pick up. Publix Bakery, yes it is. Publix Bakery, yes it is. Publix Bakery, can I help you? You called me. No, you called me. It's Publix Bakery. Yes it is. But I don't, can I, what, no, but it, and it took the longest time for people to figure it out. And then we got the wild idea. We would connect the Mayfair bar to the Big Still bar. And it'd be like, Big Still bar. And then the other one would pick up, Mayfair. No, it's the Big Still. No, it's the Mayfair. No, it's the Big Still, dude. I work here. I know what the place is called. No, it's, you don't work here. I work here. It's the Mayfair. Oh my God, dude. You talk about funny. And this is shit you can't do anymore with caller ID and everything else. This was before caller ID. So, I mean, there was no way to know who it was. And people were just it was just the funniest thing. 10 of us would sit there and just howl at this phone, and these people would be like, Publix Bakery, yes it is. Or you call Circle K, and then we call 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, Circle K. No, it's 7-Eleven. No, it's not. It's Circle K. It's 7-Eleven. Dude, I'm looking at the goddamn sign right now. It's Circle K. Bitch, I'm gonna come over there and kick your ass. And they're yelling at each other, and they don't realize it's a misunderstanding on both their parts, because they both thought they were receiving a phone call. And anyway, it is just hilarious. That's funny, Faithful. I like that. Yeah, there was no Starbucks back then, but that would have been fun. It was the days of crank yankers. Hey, lady! It was fun. We used to do harmless shit like that. I mean, some guys kicked each other's ass by the dumpster a couple times, but other than that, it was pretty harmless. We did idle hands, man. Idle hands are the devil's workshop, and firemen are the worst, dude. It's almost like the chief would hope a call comes in so we'd find something to do, because it was like we were definitely going to get in trouble again tonight for sure. The Jerky Boys. I love the Jerky Boys. Hey, yeah, you hiring for a mechanic? Yeah, I start tomorrow. No, you don't gotta hire me. I start tomorrow. I love it. I love it. My family dying. I get pizza from your place. My family dying. Oh! I love the Jerky Boys. There's another group you've probably never heard of. It was a radio station out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Roy D. Mercer. If you look up Roy D. Mercer, he's funny as hell. he would call people, and he would call them up with like this crazy ass story, but he's put up to it by their friends. So they, it's always like he knows more about than he's supposed to know, and that's a really funny one too. You kicked my dog. Roy D. Mercer, you know who I'm talking about. He's a classic dude. I love that guy. And his wife, he always says, my wife, Sharon Jean. Oh, I love that stuff, dude. That is funny, funny stuff. Yep. I gotta see. Let me see if Eddie wants to come in for a minute. Look who I got tonight. It's Ed Earl. And he's talking. Hi, Ed. He's my steel gray. He's also kind of my number one. These are my two main. I mean, him and the little mama bleeper. They're the two that I'm closest to, really. And then the two boys in the bedroom too. I'm pretty close to them. And then I've got a bunch more. I love them all. I really do. Yep. Yeah, I love all that stuff. Crank anchors, man. And we used to. That's old because we used to listen to that shit at the fire station, I think. Yeah, Mr. Earl. He's over there eating Mama Bleep's food. She's getting kitten food. So when they come in now, they go right over there and eat some of that kitten food because it's different. Isn't that right, Mama? Isn't that right, big Mama girl? Yeah. Yeah. This one was completely feral when I got a hold of her. Yeah, cats bully. I hate that. And it is nice when, I hate to say it, but sometimes when one cat passes away, it makes another cat's life a little bit better. That's the same thing with people. Yep. And my kitties. Ed sleeps with me. He's one of these cats that he basically sleeps right next to me. He has to be like right next to me. And then the other two cats in there, they both sleep on the bed too somewhere. And then, but Mama doesn't. She, like I said, she was feral. She stays in the house or out here in the shed though quite a bit. Isn't that right? I don't normally let cats stay in here all the time, but since she almost died, I've got a litter box out here, and I'm letting her live in my studio. That I normally don't do that because they walk all over the keyboards and take all my stuff offline. So that's why I don't normally do that. All right, so anyway, let's do a quick reset here. Hello, everybody. My name is Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures. And tonight we are covering everything that's going on around the world, but we're also covering Major Hurricane Melissa as it slowly drags their ass towards Jamaica. And yeah, we're going to be covering a little bit more of that before we go. I'm also looking for more live views of what's going on right now. I'm trying to find more live views while I'm talking. I'm not real good at doing things while I'm talking. Also, I made a bunch of new thumbnails too, so those are cool. Thumbnails are so important on YouTube, and it's something that a lot of people seem to forget, or they don't seem to care about. I'm not sure which. It's like hashtags and keywords, all very, very important on YouTube, and a lot of creators don't do it. I talked to somebody a while back, and they're like, yeah, I've been doing this for years now, and I can't get over 1,000 subscribers. And I said, well, then there's got to be something wrong, because you're fun, you know, it would be fun to hang out with you. I can't imagine you can't find people that want to hang out. And I went and looked at their video. Every single night they go in there and they put hanging out for the description, and or for the title, no description. And I said, you can do this for the rest of your damn life and you're never going to get a crowd. You're not. You got to have a good thumbnail, you got to have a good title, and you got to have a good description, good keywords, hashtags. You got to have all that. You got to fill out all the little things. You got to check the little boxes. Make YouTube happy. It can make or break your video. It sure can. You know, every night I have AI help me produce a custom title, a custom description, and custom hashtags, custom keywords. It's called a meta package. And you can ask ChatGPT or Grok, create me a complete detailed YouTube meta package for the following. And then I paste in whatever I'm doing that night, hit enter, and it makes the meta package for me. And it puts all the information in and everything. And then I just read it and make sure it's correct. So it's just so important. And when people, I look how I'm struggling and how long it's taken me to get where I'm at. And I feel for people that literally have been doing it as long as I have and have nothing to show for it, simply because they're too lazy to type in a description and at least a 1-paragraph description and a title and make a custom thumbnail. Thumbnails are so easy to make. I could literally, maybe I will, just for the shit of it right now, show you how quick I can make a thumbnail right online. I want to show you guys this. So I'm going to turn on the left screen, all right? And what I'm going to do is, let me find that website. All right, this one here I'm using, this one's called deepai.org. So as always, when I show you guys something, I'm gonna put the link in. This is the first thing I'm gonna show you guys. This is a neat one that I just found about a month ago that I've started using, and I'm gonna show you how I use it right now. Here we go. This is it right here, and basically the way this works is you type in your prompt. Here's my prompt: a realistic image of a grid with black lines and 9 equal squares. Each square contains a different disaster scene, from a landfalling hurricane in the tropics to protests in the street, a police pursuit, and lightning. Overall, the image is dark and colorful, and the individual scenes are at night. Scenes include rescues, high winds, flooding, lightning, and surf. Lots of red and blue color. That's my prompt. The prompt is the most important thing in the world when it comes to AI. You have to write a very specific prompt. Now, I save all these prompts on a notepad so that I can go back and quickly access them. But anyway, I hit that there. I go down to the bottom here and I select the shape that I want. This is the closest to the shape I need for a YouTube thumbnail. And I put it in, it's either in standard or HD. I put it in HD and I set it for quality over speed. And then I click this button here, and you literally go in and you pick a style. These are all the different styles that you can pick from. And I pick the style. Okay, I'll pick steampunk. And then I go back in here and I click submit, and now it's going to take my prompt, but it's going to make it with this style. And this actually is a great way to create really cool, you know, images. Did it not go? No, it didn't go. There we go. There you go. And it just made that picture for me, right? Look at that. Isn't that cool? And I like how it did it. Some of the boxes overlap some of the other ones, some don't. I really like that. That's a nice one. So right from here, It even put water underneath it and lightning above it. Look at that. It's even got a great little frame around it. That's a nice picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save image, and I'm going to save it right in there. I'm going to name it something else. These are all the ones I made earlier, and there it is. So now I've saved it. So now I go over to LunaPic, okay? And what I'm going to do with LunaPic is I'm going to upload my picture. Upload. There it is. It's the last one I downloaded. Double click on it. Now I've got it in here. Now what I've done is I've made a template. So let me show you guys this. I go paste from. I made a template with a clear background. See it right there? I bring that in, upload it, continue to paste, and look at this. That's just how easy it is. Pretty cool, huh? Isn't that neat? And there's my logo. I click OK, File, Save, and I've just made me a thumbnail. So there's really no reason for people to not have a thumbnail. You can type anything in you want there, and it'll make it into a thumbnail for you. So the two websites I use are lunapic.com and that other one I gave you just a few minutes ago. But there's the other one, LunaPic. I don't think that's a good link. Hold on just a second. Yeah, that's not a good link. Hold on. I think it's, if you do it like this, it'll work. There we go. All right, so there you go, guys. That's how you do it. That's literally how you do it. And I just showed you guys literally how easy and quick it is. Now, if you don't want to use this one, there's other ones. There's this one right here, which is another image creator. And you can see there I was working on it, making me Mardi Gras images. But these are some of the different images I've created on here. Look at that. That's a really cool one right there. So, and this one is Microsoft Bing Images Create. And I use this one too, although it was better before, it's getting worse. And let's see, what else do I use? I guess that's about it. Oh, and the last thing is the Hurricane Watch Net. I'll just go ahead and put that here so you guys can check it out. I will be broadcasting this starting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And that is the Hurricane Watch Net. And you can read all about it on that link. What it is they go on HF radio, which is the global radio, and they listen for people calling for help from Jamaica. And that's exactly what it is. And everybody in the world knows when there's a hurricane, you set your HF radio on a certain frequency for the Hurricane Watch Net. I will be broadcasting the Hurricane Watch Net out of the studio here, starting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. when they go live. And I'm going to be keeping up this camera, the one over here with all the Jamaican cams on Starship After Dark. I don't even know if anybody's even found that one over there yet, but I'm going to be keeping that live. I'll probably just leave it up overnight as well. Yep, and it's working over there. I think. Yep. Okay, so here is the direct link Here's the direct link to the other video, and that one will be staying up tonight after I go off here, so you guys can hang out over there if you want. Yeah, 14325, all that's on that link I just gave you. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then I'm going to probably go on Tuesday morning as we've got landfall. Ed, your ass is right in my face, Ed. Anyway, I don't know why they're like, hey, well, since it's right in front of your face, why don't you smell it or lick it or something? You know, that's the way cats are. Here's my ass, smell it. But yeah, that's the coverage plan, and by the way, that will be over on Starship After Dark. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, there's a Jamaican kitty cat. Ed, you don't make things easier. All right, so let's take one last check around here. The 11 o'clock advisory may have dropped, although I'm not expecting any significant changes at this point. All right, there we go. That's in the big inlay there. That's what we've got going on over on the other channel. So. Looks like it's frozen now. Oh, it's because I have to hit that. There we go. So now that's working, and you can see there. Basically, I've got all the shots of Jamaica up there. That's pretty cool. All right, so what else do we got, guys? I'm coming up on 2 hours here. Oh, there you go. I've never done ready. I think I got a radio that has it, and I've got a computer that has it, but I've never actually tried it. Yep, I agree. This is going to be a bad hurricane, especially for Jamaica, and also for Cuba. It's going to be bad for those folks too. They're looking at the one saving grace for Cuba. They're not looking at a prolonged incident like Jamaica is. It's going to be going a little slower. Once it gets over Cuba, it's going to be hauling ass. Yeah, this is Ed. Bunghole ID. Isn't that right, Eddie? You know what he wants. I tell you guys this all the time. He wants me to go to bed. He literally will come get me, and he'll start yelling outside the door. And when I open the door, he doesn't want in. He wants me to come out. And when I finally start locking the door, he gets excited. It's time for bed. And he runs inside and he waits for me to open the bedroom door, and he runs in the bedroom and he greets the two cats that are in there, and next thing you know, he's curling up in bed. And because every night he has to make biscuits, lots of biscuits. Every night on my chest, he makes biscuits and biscuits and biscuits. Yeah, I'm broadcasting in high def. You should be able to receive me at least in 1080p. Yeah, and the other two boys in there, they sleep together, usually all the time with each other, and then they sleep right near me. Cats are very social. That's what I love about cats. They're social with us, they're social with each other, and they're very social with dogs. All my cats get along with my my stepson's dogs. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the my stream, this multi-screen stream, obviously works much better on a 60-inch television than it does on a telephone. I understand that, and it's one of those things. A lot of people are starting to do upright format because they're catering to people that have phones. Well, I'm doing the opposite. I'm catering to people that have larger screens because I'm wanting to provide more and better. And in order to do more and better, I need more real estate. So, but if you're watching this right now on a huge screen, it probably looks pretty good. I mean, you can still see every little thing that's going on. Like I said, I got this idea from hanging out in the TV control room during large breaking events, because I was trying to find out what's going on so I could go back to the radio station and get it on the air or whatever. And I found the easiest way to instantly become up to date on what's going on in the world is to go stand in or sit in the TV control room, because there's a wall with like 40 televisions on it, and I can see everything all at one time. Yes, I hate vertical videos. I think YouTube, it's a bad mistake to push for these upright videos. I don't like them. I watched one the other day, and it was 4 people having a discussion, and the person had it in upright format, and he was making me dizzy. He would move that phone back and forth every time somebody would speak. He was doing this and this and this and this, and I'm seeing the ground and the feet and the legs, and I'm seeing the sky, and I'm seeing the clouds, and I'm seeing planes fly overhead, but yet he has to move it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to stay in the conversation. It's so stupid. We don't see in upright format. We see in landscape format. So it's not natural to try to make us use a format that we don't use, number one, and number two, it's not near as effective or efficient. ADT TV, that's what this is. Yeah, I don't, if I go to a video, like I watch a lot of these First Amendment auditor videos, I watch a lot of Star Trek content, and stuff like that. I like a lot of these ones, like the 20 things you didn't know about Star Trek 5 or whatever, you know, I watch a lot of that kind of stupid shit. And, yeah. And the moment I click into a video, if it's upright format, I click out. That's my way of voting no. That's my way of vote. If I go in there and you're upright format, I'm right out. I'm out. Thumbs down, out. I don't watch it. Food stamp shutdown, yeah. Well, could happen. I don't know. We're gonna have to see, because there is some reserves there, and also, but it's also been a while. We're coming up on the end of the month. And so there may be an issue with getting out stuff. I'd love to know why my taxpayers have to feed 14 million people. I feed myself. It's just easier that way. Yep, it is a Democrat shutdown. The Republicans have offered a clean CR. In fact, they've offered a clean CR 19 times now, and the Democrats won't sign it because the Democrats, they want to use this as an extortion, basically, in order to get Obamacare extended. And the one thing that this country needs right now is for Obamacare to go the F away. Obamacare has ruined health insurance. Right now, Obamacare is so expensive, nobody can afford it. And right now, private insurance is so expensive, nobody can afford it. Obamacare was supposed to give you reduced price insurance, and what it actually did was it raised the price for everybody's insurance. It doubled it over the course of 5 or 6 or 7 years. It doubled it. And many people like me don't have health insurance. I just don't have it. If I get cancer, I die. And there's nothing I can do about it. Insurance for me on the HCA is $500 a month. Insurance for me off the HCA is $500 a month for catastrophic care. So I can't afford that. I can't afford that. That's the money I eat with. Yep. The truth is that when they voted in Obamacare, this was the day that it ended. It ends at the end of this year. That's been that date for 10 years now, or whatever, since they started this. That we all knew right up till today that at the end of this year, Obamacare's subsidies run out. And that those subsidies have to be renewed by the Senate and the House. They have to be in a new budget. Well, you waited till the last minute, and now you're trying to shove it through under a Trump Senate, House. Republicans control all three, and now you're trying to use a strong arm tactic, basically, to bend us over and get what you want, which is a 1-year extension on the government subsidies for Obamacare. The truth is, Obamacare didn't work. Obamacare right now is just as expensive as any other health plan, and you don't get good insurance on it. Matter of fact, there is no such thing as good insurance anymore. No matter what insurance you have, you're going to end up owing thousands of dollars if something happens. It sucks, really. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It just sucks. That's the best we can do. Mom Donnie, yes, as I call him, dumb commie Mom Donnie. He is an idiot. That guy is a communist. He's a failed childhood actor from Disney. His mom works at Disney. There's nothing good to say about this guy. I've worked with people and I've known people from the Middle East, and they're fine. But they're also people that came here and adapted to the way of life here. I don't believe Mamdani's done that. He's a communist, socialist, and he also has roots in Sharia. And I cannot believe these absolute morons in New York. And I'm sorry, if you're a Democrat in New York, what the F are you doing right now? What are you doing? I mean, I know you have to choose between the communist or the hair sniffer, but still, you could do better. You could choose Curtis Sliwa and do a lot better, but you're not going to do that. So what's going to end up happening? I know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, unless something big changes, I'm going to tell you guys what's going to happen. They're going to elect Dumkami Memdami to mayor of New York. And the first thing he's going to do is socialize the grocery stores. Because in his words, you have to control the means of production. I'm telling you guys, this guy's dangerous. He wants to socialize the grocery stores. He wants to make public transportation free. You know, the people that pay for public transportation only pay for 30% of the bill. It's like down here, they spend $180 million or whatever on a public transit system. They charge everybody that gets on the bus, but that only covers 30%. Why do we not charge them, oh, I don't know, enough to cover it all? Why do tax money? That's my problem with public transportation. If public transportation cannot survive on its own, it needs to go away. Well, we'd have to charge $5 for a bus ride. Then charge $5 for a bus ride. Welcome to the fucking real world, okay? It costs money to run these big buses up and down the street, especially when they're buying the $650,000 hybrid buses that the idiots here are buying, and they run up and down the road empty all the time. Public transportation is a complete abstract failure everywhere it's been tried. That debacle with the high-speed rail in California, that should be a study in failure right there. That's an abstract study in government failure. And I can't believe the money. I said this the other night. If you took all the money they spent on Lee County transit system here, this Lee Tran that we have here, if you take all the money that they spend on that, you could buy every regular rider of the bus a car and insure it and put gas in it for a year, and you'd have money left over at the end. So are we really doing the smart thing here? It would be cheaper to buy all these people cars. What are we doing? We've got a $650,000 bus that we're paying a driver to drive. We're paying for diesel to go in it, and it never has more than 7 or 8 or 10 people on it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Why am I spending my money on this? We're spending like a 9th or 10th or 12th or whatever of our tax money in this county is spent on Lee County Transit, and it's the biggest waste of money there ever was. And they say, well, it frees up traffic on the road. Really? I would rather have 9 cars on the road than one big fat lumbering bus that's stopping every 3 blocks with the blinkers on, blocking up traffic for miles. People have to get out from behind them. It's a big pain in the ass. Trust me, the bus is a bigger traffic menace than any of the cars that it would have reduced. Period. These big lumbering ass damn buses that can't get out of their own way, blowing black smoke everywhere. Yeah, I cannot believe that New York's going to vote for this guy. They're literally going to elect a communist, and they're okay with it. They're going to do it. But that shows you how off the deep end the Democrats are. Do you know the best thing that could happen for the Republicans right now? We've already had a lot of things happen in our favor, even some bad things that have happened in our favor. There's been a lot of things happen for the Republicans right now, and this is just another one. If they elect Dumkami Memdami to mayor of New York, that's going to be the biggest gift to Republicans. Well, probably almost as big as the assassin that took Charlie Kirk's life. I don't think people realize the boost this is going to be. They're going to elect this guy. He's going to go in there and destroy New York. And we're all going to stand there and point and say, see? So again, this is a good thing for the Republican Party. And believe it or not, Memdami getting elected could actually be a good thing for the country, because it's going to show everyone once and for all how much of a failure the Democrat policy, the Democrat system, and the Socialist Party is. It's going to show once and for all that communism has failed every time it's been tried. I can't believe we're in a democracy, a representative republic that's been going on now for 250 years. I want you to think about that. We've been going on for 250 years, but these people want us to try something different. They want us to not be a democracy or a republic anymore. They don't want us to be free marketplace anymore. They don't want that. They want to try communism. Why? I don't know. What we've got here is working. Communism has never worked anywhere it's tried. Socialism has failed. It's the failed social experiment. Every time it's tried, it fails. So why would we trade something that's worked for 250 years and give it up for something that's never worked anywhere it's been tried? I don't see the logic in these people. Yeah, Caltran. It is just a slush fund for Democrats. Victor, I'm not aware of any public transit rail project that's running ahead of budget. Public transit runs in the red everywhere it's tried. Yeah, Rudy Giuliani did a good job in New York. He was a little rough, a little hard, but he had to be. He had to get that place back in order. Yeah, Victor, I'd like to know what light rail system is doing good, because from what I understand, every public transit rail system that's ever been developed runs in the red. Every bus system here in Florida runs in the red. There's no such thing as a self-sustaining or even partially sustaining public transportation system. It just doesn't exist. So I don't know. Look, public transportation is not the answer. It's not. For what we spend on public transportation, I could buy half the people a car, and the other half of the people that can't drive, I could pay a van service to come pick them up cheaper than I could pay for all these big $650,000 buses. We've got a fleet of 25 of these buses. Do you know what that costs? And they're not lasting as long as they thought they would. They're having problems with them. You know how it is. Yada, yada, yada. Hey, BJ. Really, I think I've heard of Rhonda Up All Night. I think I've heard of that, but I'm not sure. Kitty, do you have to lay right there on the mouses? Can we find maybe a better place to lay down? That's good, Victor. I'm glad to hear it's working. I am. Hey, BJ. Yeah, the only thing I can tell you with public transportation is the only ones that work are ones that do service things like stadiums and venues and things like that. You can get a little closer to breaking even. But my problem with them is I would rather help the individuals out than pay for all these buses. I would much rather say, look, you know, you're poor, you need public transportation. Can you drive? You can. Okay, let's get you a car. I'm going to get you in a $5,000 car. We're going to buy it for you. We're going to give it to you. We're going to turn it over to you. We're going to pay for the first year of insurance, and we're going to pay for the gas for the first year. And then I'd ask, okay, I go to the next person. Can you drive? No, I can't drive. Okay, we're going to sign you up for this new van service, because it's much cheaper to have a van service than it is to have these $650,000 buses. And if you can eliminate over half of your riders by giving them a car, giving them a hand up, then you can take the other half of your riders and just provide a simple small car service to get them from point A to point B. Yep. Most public transportation systems are horribly in debt, horribly corrupt, no matter where you go. The good news is here in Florida, we ended all of these big projects. All there is now is the counties with their little systems. Okay, guys, we're over 2 hours now. I do appreciate everybody coming in. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, let me know. What you're looking at here is our regular grid, and then inside the big square, I've got the Jamaican grid. You can see that live over on Starship After Dark. What I've got over here is I actually have all the shots from Jamaica all on one screen, or most of them anyway. There's actually quite a few, surprisingly. But here's the link to it, and that will be up overnight. I'm going to leave that on overnight. I will replace my picture with one more video, and then I will leave that on. Yep. Yeah, places like New York, it just bleeds them dry. It bleeds them out of money. The transit systems just bleed them dry. And it's just more of this whole thing about, well, I don't want to deal with a house, so I'll let the government deal with it for me. I don't want to deal with transportation, so I'll let the government deal with it. You know what? That's socialism. And these leftists, that's what they want. They don't want to be bothered with buying a car. They don't want to be bothered with owning a house or paying for insurance. They don't want to be bothered with any of these responsibilities at all. They just want everything to just happen. And then they just want to live their life in their phone. And that's literally what we're getting to right now. And it's like, no, we need to tell people, no, you need to go get another job, get a better job, go buy your own car, get out of public transportation. The way the Democrats set things up, everybody falls into it. You fall into it and you get stuck into it. I want a system where you don't fall into it. You don't get stuck into it. You work hard and you own your own shit. You buy your own stuff. You do your own thing. That's what I want. BJ. No, let me tell you what. You can make a really cool studio or command center, whatever you want to call it. You can certainly do it. I've showed you guys what I buy, those $100 computers, and you can plug up to 3 monitors into each one. They're $100, and the monitors I get the monitors for between 10 and 20 bucks a piece at Habitat for Humanity or somewhere like that. Not Goodwill, it's gotten too corporatized, but there's other places I'm sure in your town, like Habitat for Humanity's the best one. Yeah, do that. And yeah, you can just start building it up. Put shelves in, paint the walls black. However you want to do, depending on what you're going to use it for, of course. If you're going to be shooting video in there, black walls help. They hide all the wires. See, I got wires everywhere in here, but you can't see them because I painted everything black. It's a little trick. Yeah, I've always had like a command center type thing. You can see back in my old when I was doing the ghost hunting, and I would do the show Saturday Night Paranormal, which was my show that I did for 2 years or 4 years, 206 episodes, and when we did that show, it was. I had a studio in my bedroom, literally, and I had this little bed in the corner because the rest of my room was all studio. And then I ended up, I moved into a place, and then ended up, one of my guys in my group, him and his wife were members of my group, and they're like, we got a 2-car garage and we really don't use it for much. And we wouldn't mind, and so we figured out a way to air condition his garage using a temporary air conditioner. and we set up a whole studio in there with a rolling camera cart and a whole bit. It was great. We did that for a while. Oh, Douche Newsom's definitely going to run for president. I love the little alpha male routine he's putting on right now. He's cussing and swearing. He's acting like a real man now. He's acting all tough. He's getting into verbal arguments with his hair and stuff like that. And I think it's really cool that we see a huge change in this guy. He went from being this go along to get along beta male douchebag, and now all of a sudden he's trying to toughen it up. He said shit. I mean, what a douchebag, dude. He's got to be the biggest douchebag. You know, it actually helps my ADD. Let me tell you why. The moment something goes behind something else on my screen, it's gone. But as long as I have it up on one of my mini screens, I'll get back to it. So what I do is I have projects on each screen. These two screens, I'm working on a post right now. This screen over here, I'm using it for my Grok screen. This screen up here is my analytics screen. And I've got everything all separated out. And the reason I do that is because of my ADD. It actually helps me with my ADD having all the screens, because I can keep everything that's important front and center. Yeah, he's something else. I think it's funny that Kamala Harris thinks that they took a straw poll a while back on Democrats, and they chose Kamala Harris as the heir apparent. What? Yeah, I don't think Gavin he destroyed a city, and then he went and became a governor and destroyed a state, and now he wants to destroy your country. I don't think it plays that well. What do you think, Ed? You go talk into the mic? Say something. No. Yes, I think J.B. Pritzker is going to run. That slob. I think he's going to run. And I think Douche Newsom's obviously going to run. And I think Kamala's word salad Harris is going to run. We may see a few more. I don't know. You got Beto and Boot Edge. But they're such weak beta males. I don't think we'll see either one of them run. See, I don't see that the Dems have any options at all. Not any viable ones anyway. See, we've got people sitting in the wings. You know, we've got J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, which is probably going to be the next ticket. But look who we've got on the bench. We've got Ron DeSantis and Byron Donalds, just to name two of my local ones here. They both would be great presidents. We actually have a number of people in the Republican Party that would be great presidents. They have nobody. Name one person in the Democrat Party that's ready to lead and would be a decent president, regardless of policy. You got Pete Buttigieg. And by the way, that's how they trained Trump how to say his name. They would spell out boot, edge, edge. And if you say it fast, it works. Buttigieg. But that's his name. And yeah, Tulsi could run. I don't think that's anything. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't believe that of all the people that they put on this straw poll, Kamala Harris was number 1. Gavin Newsom, number 2. J.D. Pricker, number 3. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is their bench. This is the people they have that are like next, all suck ass. They're all terrible. Pothole Pete. There you go. Pothole Pete, boot edge. What you doing, kitty? You looking at the camera? He's fascinated by the mic. You talk into it. Go meow, meow. Just go meow. I would love the first woman president to be a Republican. Victor, no, but I'm going to be buying a new ham radio up at the ham radio ham fest up at Stone Mountain that I'm going to, believe it or not, this coming weekend. I can't believe it's this soon. But I only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. No more shows after that. And Thursday night show. Matter of fact, there probably won't be a show Thursday night either because I'm leaving at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I probably won't do one Thursday. Yeah, the Democrat Party is gone. It's ruined from what it used to be. It was a proud party at one time. The party of the working class, the party of the blue-collar man. They've lost their unions. They've lost the fire and police unions. They're slowly losing the AFL-CIO. Trump's given the unions what they've always wanted, tariffs. What are ham radios? Well, ham radio is a hobby where you can take a test with the the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, and you can become licensed and get a call sign. Mine is KO4EFS, and you get a call sign, and that call sign allows you to speak on numerous different frequencies. And you can use numerous different modes to speak on numerous different frequencies. And then from there, you find different things within the ham radio hobby that you like to do. Like, I got a big radio right over there that I've spoke to people in Japan on, directly, radio to radio. It's a lot of fun. There's also local radio, there's repeaters. I've even we put up our own repeater here for a while. There's all kinds of neat stuff you can do with it, and connecting to the internet and radio computer interfacing. Yes, it's also known as amateur radio. I don't like either one of those terms. I think they're both horrible. Okay, you got KE5D. See, you got a vanity call sign at some point. I've never bothered. I got my original call letters, and they're just me, so I'm sticking with them. KC4BPH. Well, there you go. You should get active again. I love doing POTA, Parks on the Air. I'm going to be doing a shitload of Parks on the Air next week up in Georgia, and I'll be broadcasting a lot of it live right here on YouTube. If you guys are ham radio people, or you're interested at all in ham radio, just go back on my channel. I have 1,000 videos on my channel, and many of my videos are ham radio directly related. Everything from how to set up FT8, how to work contesting and do voice, how to set up radios, computer interface, digital modes. I ran the Friday Night TechNet on here on this channel for several years, where we got together on Zoom meetings and broadcasted them live. And you can actually watch us working problems and hooking up radios, and it's really cool. You just passed your general. Well, there you go. KJ5MQE. That's awesome. And there's 3 license classes. Your technician license allows you basically on local radio. If you want to get on HF, you need a general license, which is just a second test and a second $35. And then there's another class after that, which nobody really ever needs. Yeah, congratulations. We've been talking on here about doing HF one night, and I haven't ruled it out. My problem is my noise floor here is so bad. I've got a hex beam, I've got all kinds of antenna, I got all kinds of radio, but I've got a noise floor that's so bad I don't think I'd hear any of you guys. But maybe we can do that radio remote. I'll do it from out at a park somewhere in Georgia or something, and I'll go to a frequency and see who can contact me. Your call is not a vanity call? That's news to me. All 2x1s are vanity calls to my knowledge. It must be a very old call sign. It's all I can say, because it's my understanding that 2x1s and 1x2s are all vanity call signs, but hey, I could be wrong. All right. All that means for the rest of you guys is once you get your call sign, it's like a license plate. Do you want a vanity tag? You can go get a vanity tag as long as no one else has that number. Well, it's the same way with this. You can actually go on the website and put in the different call signs, and get it that way, and find a call sign that's not being used and apply for it and get it, and that's called a vanity call sign. Could you send signals to space? Yes. As a matter of fact, one of the things people like to do is called EME, or Earth, Moon, Earth. You can actually take an Una Yagi directional antenna that you can build yourself with PVC pipe and wire, or you can buy it for $100. And you take that antenna and you aim it towards the moon, and then you broadcast towards the exact center of the moon. And then some guy in California, he's aiming his rig directly at the center of the moon also, and he can hear you. It bounces your radio signal off the flat surface, off the ejecta blanket on the moon, which is actually really cool if you think about it. We can receive space, you can receive stuff from space, although there's not much there to get. I don't know. I haven't worked with too many of those kind of antennas. My favorite overall antenna is my hex beam. I love my hex. I've got a lot of wires. I got a 40 wire. I got a 20 end-fed wire. I got a 5-element 4H 6-meter beam that I really like. It's huge. It's up there right now. I got a bunch of different antennas, but as far as mobile, I'm going to buy something this coming weekend because I don't have an HF mobile antenna. I have taken power hits all week. They are working on the wires. It's stabilized now. They're working on the wires down my street or something. The power was going on and off here like 3 or 4 times a day, and I gave up. I just let it all stay down. Well, that's over now, and everything seems to be stable, so I'm going to start getting them all back up online. I was going to do it today, and other things came up. Yes, the International Space Station has a ham radio, and from time to time they'll schedule it, and you can actually call and talk to the astronauts on the space station directly from your radio. They also, from time to time, will send down SSTV images, and you can receive those images with a little $20 radio standing in a parking lot with a tablet. It's pretty cool. Yeah. There's a lot of neat things you can do with ham radio. It goes on forever. It's a great, great hobby. A lot of the people involved with it are old grumpy assholes. So you just have to pick your poison, find something that you like, and go for it. What's my take on Space Force? Yeah, we're right about that time. We're about at the time in evolution where there's now threats in space. There's threats from debris, from all the satellites and all the collisions we've had up there. There's threats in the form of adversaries that can have satellites that can do things to our satellites. There is threats in the form of missile launches that go intercontinental, meaning that they travel through a portion of space. There is so many different threats right now that come from space, not to mention real threats from space like comets and asteroids that may bear down on the planet at some point, and we're going to have to deal with that. And I think that humans will be advanced enough that when the next big, huge event happens for Earth, we'll be able to stop it. When the next rock falls towards Earth and it's an extinction level event, I think we'll be able to prevent the next extinction level event, and I'm hoping. But that's another big one for Space Force. And also the sun. The sun is mean and nasty, and it's always trying to hurt us. And so you got that too. So there's a lot of justification for the need of it. All I can tell you guys is I love the fact that that the past is falling in line with the future. And what I mean by that is this whole Space Force thing has been so interesting to me because of the logoing and the way they've done it. I think that I don't know if it was a direct homage or if it's just a coincidence or what, but oh god damn it. It would be so much better if the computer would just do what I want it to do rather than what it wants to do. There's your logos. This is why I think it's so freaking cool. The logo on the right was created by Gene Roddenberry and crew way back. I don't know, 60s or 80s, I'm not sure which, but it was made a long time ago. And that's the Starfleet Command logo of the United Federation of Planets. On the right is the United States Space Force, Department of the Air Force official patch. Now, if you guys can't see that one was made to look like the other, you're nuts. This is prophecy fulfilling itself. Trump started Starfleet. Do you see it now? I mean, this is literally the history of the future. It's the future of history. It's a causality loop. When I first saw this, I was freaking out. I'm like, you're kidding me. They're already using the Delta. They're already using the swoosh. It's the same logo just about. I don't know. When I saw this, I got tears in my eyes. I'm like, this is prophecy. This is the prophecy fulfilling itself. Yes, yeah. When the extinction level event comes, it will be the United States that saves the world. Absolutely. But this is the future. This is the prophecy that was foretold. And the fact that Donald Trump started Starfleet, I just think that's so amazing. I can't get over it. I'm beside myself. man, enlistments are up record numbers right now. We went from record lows to record highs in the military in 10 months. Robert De Niro, he's your typical left-wing idiot Hollywood guy. Great actor, not enough brain cells to rub together and start a fire. Not enough genes for a full load. I don't know what the problem is, but he's just a typical Hollywood actor. These Hollywood actors, they're very good at what they do, but I've never seen a bigger group of idiots that don't know anything about the way the real world works. USA. All right. Yeah, so the bottom line on the Space Force, it was time to do it. I think it was a good move. It is what it is. Yep, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I will admit, being an actor, a good actress is not easy. It is a job. It's hard work. It's long hours. It's bullshit. And they do get paid really good for it, though. So I don't really feel bad for them. But I do recognize that they do a hard job that a lot of us couldn't probably even do. I don't know. And I just like the fact that Mark Wahlberg just the other day. Mark Wahlberg moved out of California. Guess where he moved? Moved here, baby. Moved to Florida. Moved to Rich Man's Row or whatever they call that over there. Yeah, they're all moving here. Do you know there's more movies made in Georgia and Florida right now than in California? It's nuts. The way taxes are and the unions and everything out there in California, there won't be that many more things made out there. It's grinding to a halt. Kitty, you typed 90. Did you want me to send that?
We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
Yep, and that did nothing but get you in trouble, sir. Oh, really? That's cool. Maggie from The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. I watched it. I loved it until the night that Negan killed my two favorite characters with a baseball bat. And I stood up and I walked away. And I badmouthed it on the radio the next day and told people I was never going to watch it again. And I never did. I have never seen Walking Dead after the middle of that episode when I got up and walked out. I sent emails, I posted all over the place, I was vocal, and apparently, guess what? It wasn't just me. They lost 55% of their audience and only gained 20% of it back. They made a huge mistake. That Negan character was just a bad idea. And to kill off two of the main characters, two beloved characters at one time, meaninglessly, for no reason at all. They didn't need to kill either one of those characters, but they did. And so it ruined the show for me. I walked away from it. Carlotta stayed watching it for about another year, and then she kind of walked away from it. It just got different. Oh, do I really? I haven't even been checking it. Let me see. Yeah, that Negan thing ruined everything, guys. It really did. It ruined everything. And what a shame, really. I mean, I was enjoying that show too. I liked Rick Grimes. I liked, I liked the characters. I liked Shaniqua Martin Green. I liked the old woman with the cookies. I forget her name. I loved her. I just loved the people on that movie, and Glenn, and the Patriot guy that they killed off, and I love that show. And then they literally just ruined that show for me, and I hate them for it. All right, and if you're watching us on Starship After Dark, we're actually also on Starship Adventures on the main channel as well. We've got on Starship After Dark right now. You can see me as well. We've got our feed live over there, which is all the cameras out of Kingston, Jamaica. And then over here on this channel, we've got a bunch of other feeds. We're watching some civil unrest out of Portland, and some different things over here as well. But I am getting ready to sign off for the night. I am going to keep the other stream over on Starship After Dark of all the cameras in Jamaica. I am going to keep that live overnight. So thank you for that. I know we do have a bunch of people over there. Wow, guys. I didn't realize that. Yep. All right, yeah, we'll do the news real quick here. Basically, if you want to see the graphics I'm showing, you'll need to watch on Starship Adventures. But I'll go ahead and go through it all real quick for you guys. Over on Starship After Dark, we've got all of the cameras from Kingston, Jamaica, where that storm is bearing down and will strike Tuesday. And then over here on Starship After Dark, we're doing our regular Sights and Sounds of Earth show for Sunday night. And anyway, here's your graphic. This is your latest graphic. Notice that at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, it will be between Jamaica and Cuba. So 2 a.m. on Tuesday, it's going to be making landfall. That's why I'm probably going to do a morning show on Tuesday as well. I'm going to come on for a few hours in the morning and cover the landfall. Then again, there may be nothing to cover. The island's internet and power will go out, and that will be it. They will go dark, and we will hear nothing from them. It's going to be a little scary. Yeah, there you go. But anyway, so it's 8 a.m. Tuesday is about when it's going to make landfall, and it's going to take most of the day on Tuesday for it to traverse the island nation and emerge back out into the Caribbean Sea again. So that's what we have to watch out there. And yeah, and guys, if you're here on Starship After Dark and you want to keep the conversation going after I go to bed here in a few minutes, go over to Starship After Dark. Over there, there is even more people over there. There's 43 people over there watching. So you guys should probably all migrate over there, and we'll keep that going over there into the night. This the feed of all the cameras on Starship After Dark is going to stay up indefinitely for the next 3 days until this is over with, or until all the cameras go down. Also, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., another feed will be going live on Starship After Dark. That will be the Hurricane Watch Net on ham radio, okay? And I will have that up so that you can hear the guys talking and calling out and listening for anyone on the Jamaican island nation that is calling for help. And then they have ways to get that information to the government there at the island nation. So it's a scary thing. This is going to be a really bad storm. They're now saying up to 20 feet of surge in Kingston, and they're talking 20 to 30 inches of rain. Now, I don't know if you guys can even fathom what 20 feet of rise and 30 inches of fall looks like. This is an island nation. They do have mountains, but those mountains are subject to mudslides. It's a scary time for Jamaica. I'm hoping that they're urging people to take all the proper steps that they can possibly take, because this is going to be a really bad storm. Really, really bad. All right, over here we use Mike's weather page. That's spaghettymodels.com. I'll put the link in there for you guys, and I'll put it on the other channel too for you guys. But this is the website we use for all of our hurricane resources here. It's a great website. The model consensus right now is just incredible. All the models are showing it doing the exact same thing. It's pretty much just a thin line right across the middle of the country. That's pretty much going to happen. There's nothing that's going to change that at this point. That is what's going to happen. Now, let's take a look at this thing. It is a machine, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is crazy right now. It is literally, look at this thing. And notice it warbled off to the south a little bit. And now it's moved back to the north a little bit. So that's actually going to delay it just slightly. Notice the real heavy, the real central dense overcast is just starting to reach the southern end of the island right there. The pink and the white are your colder cloud tops. That's why you're seeing the extra color there. Those are colder cloud tops. That is a perfectly formed eye. And lots of outflow. You can see that outflow all the way around. Yeah, you can just a lot of the storm is really breathing. It's really growing, and I really believe that we're probably going to be looking at a Cat 5 possibly, or at least a strong 4 as it makes landfall in Jamaica. Again, if you're joining us on Starship After Dark, we're also simulcasting on Starship Adventures. Please make sure to give both a like. And also, you might want to consider a notification bell only on Starship Adventures, because Starship After Dark will go off all the time and it will drive you nuts. So please subscribe to both channels, but only actually hit the notification bell on Starship Adventures, the main channel. All right. This thing actually looks like it's gotten much stronger in the last 5 frames. It's gotten more symmetrical. It's gotten stronger in the last few frames. We should have gotten the 11 o'clock advisory. Let me go back and look. Is this the 11? Yeah, this is the 11 o'clock advisory. They have moved the winds up to 145. 145 sustained with gusts to 170. And you can see there, it is still 36 hours away from landfall. We are still 36 hours away from landfall, and the entire next 36 hours, they're going to have tropical storm and hurricane force conditions along the southern coast. So just a really bad scenario for Jamaica, for that island nation. Just a really bad scenario. Let me go back to, let me find it here. Okay, so here's the intensity guidance. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance. We do still have some models taking this even stronger than it is right now. About half of the models, if you notice right here, we draw a straight line out. About half of the models say it's going to get stronger, and about half of the models say it's going to get weaker. I happen to know that it's going to get stronger because that's what all the indicators are right now. And so that's definitely, we're going to end up with a much stronger system. There is really not a lot of good radars out of the area. I did find a few. Let me see. Let's see if this is even going to load. it's not even going to load. Well, that's great. Oh, wait, here it comes. It's trying. Oh, it's trying. Oh, it's trying. So that gives you an idea. Oh, look at that. They've moved it back to the left a little bit, guys. They've moved it back to the left. But they are now showing a landfall as a Cat 5. That's the big update here. They are now showing a Cat 5 landfall. They are showing it as a Cat 5 landfall. It was going to make landfall. This is interesting. This morning they had it coming up and they had it going like this. So they've moved that track a lot further to the left. That actually can be a good thing in a way, because Kingston is the center of population, and this will actually take the worst of it slightly further away from that. But this definitely has moved it back to the left a little bit. But they are showing a Cat 5 on landfall, that's for sure. And I think that's entirely possible at this point. I really do. Is this radar not going to pull up? Oh, there we go. Look, it came up. What a flaky, crappy thing. This is actually a radar forecast. This is showing us what it thinks is going to happen in the next 4 hours, I guess. What else did I have? Was this another one? This is what they call a visible satellite image, and it switches to infrared as the sun goes down. That's why it got fuzzy about halfway through it. It switches to infrared. See, it looks totally different at the beginning of the cycle, because that at the beginning is a visible image. This is an infrared image. But yeah, they have stretched that. That's significant, guys. They have stretched this way over here now. Like I said earlier, it was coming up like this. So that puts more of the island on the bad side of the storm, but it puts Kingston further away from the eye wall. So that could be good. All right, I'm checking the chat rooms. I got 2 different chat rooms going. I'm watching here. Let's see. Okay, so, hey, both my kitties are here. What you guys doing? My cats generally get along. I got, Shadow likes to bully a little bit, and I yell at her when she does it. Oh, man. Good night, Victor. I'm getting ready to sign off myself. Guys, if you're on the Starship After Dark channel, which is the one that has all of the, it has just all the Jamaican views on it, and it's got the purple logo right over my head. If you're watching on that, that's going to stay up all night. So you can stay there and chat and hang out all night. That's going to stay up all the way until we run out of cameras to cover. And that will stay right there on that channel, and I'm going to recycle it every 12 hours. On this channel, I'm going to be going live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday morning about 9 a.m. Eastern, I'm going to go live probably for a special. And then again on Tuesday evening, I'll be going live again with complete coverage on what has happened with the storm. Gitmo, it just moved a little further away from Gitmo, so that's a good thing for them. Yeah. Oh, God, these storms extend 50,000 feet, 100,000 feet. I mean, they go way up there, much higher than even aircraft go. These storms are, the lift in the middle of these storms goes way up into the atmosphere. Okay, yeah, I can do that. All my mods, if you're not a mod over on the After Dark channel, just let me know and I'll do it. I just did BJ over there. I want to make sure I got all my peeps over there got wrenches. All right, and all you got to do is you're on the control button, dude. That doesn't work. God damn it. This is why I don't do cats in the broadcast room all that often. Because they just constantly screwing up my screens. All right. All right, and also, just so everybody knows, the Jamaican government does not allow streaming of their public service radios. So there is no scanner feeds. There's nothing to listen to. So I'm going to leave this on tonight, but there's no audio stream. There's nothing to put on the audio side. I've even looked for things to put on the audio side. Tomorrow I'll have the WatchNet up. I may do something with that. I'm definitely putting the WatchNet up on a separate frequency too. But I'm going to look for something to put on the audio stream for tomorrow over here. But that's what we got for tonight. It's just video. Oh, Victor. I didn't see you there. I got you. Yeah, anybody, if you're one of my moderators, then you're a moderator on both channels, and you're also a moderator over on Discord. So, there we go. All right, guys, you feel free to stay in here and keep it going. I'm going to be ending the live stream over on Starship Adventures. But the live stream here on Starship After Dark, the one that has the little purple logo right above my head here, that channel is going to stay on all night. So please stay in there and keep chatting. It helps the algorithms and it helps the channel, and we really appreciate it. 60 folks in there right now. So thank you very much, everybody, for doing that. And thanks for coming in. We're going to have some crazy coverage. And then next week, we're going to have a weird schedule because I'm going to be in Georgia next week. So we'll be going through all that. There we go. And you guys have a good one out there. Again, if you're on Starship After Dark, if you see a purple logo right here above my head, right there, if you see a purple logo right there, your channel's not getting ready to end. You can stay right there and keep watching. For everybody else over here on Starship After Dark, go ahead and switch over, or Starship Adventures, switch over to After Dark. I'm going to be signing off. Everybody have a great one out there. Live from Starship Studios in Southwest Florida, my name's Ian. This has been the Sights and Sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures, broadcasting via fiber optic over YouTube, the largest broadcast platform in the world. We're going to see all you guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for another night with special storm coverage. And please watch Starship After Dark, as I will be adding additional feeds tonight and tomorrow. So just keep on watching over there. Hurricane WatchNet tomorrow morning. All right, everybody, good night. And again, the feed on Starship After Dark will stay up. I will be ending the feed here on Starship Adventures. Everybody, have a great night out there and a safe tomorrow. 7 3s. We'll see you tomorrow night.